Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Tuesday, the 9th day of January 2024, Tuesday of the first week in Ordinary Time, the first week of the year. We have begun descending the heights of Christmas after the conclusion of Christmas yesterday with the baptism of the Lord. And now we move right into the first week in Ordinary Time, the first week of the year. Coming to you back from Raleigh, again, back in North Carolina. Here's the courtyard of our school, the Franciscan school. We had morning prayer inside today because there's supposed to be weather out the wazoo, I guess, today. But who knows what will happen. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see how bad it gets or what have you. But it is raining a little bit now. The rain has stopped a little bit. But weather's coming in because it's January, and that's what it is. So the first week of the year. We move right into looking at the books of, well, of course, we move into scripture all the time, but we move looking into the history books within the Old Testament. And here we have the book of, it is Samuel, yeah. Samuel or Kings? It's about Samuel. I think it's like the book of Samuel. It's about Samuel. Again, Samuel is the one who will designate David as the first king of Israel, but he has to have a beginning himself, and so he does. And his beginning begins with his mother, of course. Now, we heard about Samuel the last week of Advent, those on that Wednesday or the Thursday before Christmas. And again, Advent, Hannah being promised a son who she asks for, called Samuel. Well, now we just kind of back up to it again now because again we're still, Christmas again doesn't end. It just mutates into something more. It transforms into something more, and so now we are looking at the impact of the life of Christ on what was promised in Scripture, what was promised in the Old Testament, and now how it has been revealed in the New Testament. And so Hannah and her husband Elkanah have no children, and she seems to be barren, or he's infertile and what have you. And so Hannah goes to the shrine at Shiloh, which is in the northern part of Israel. So this isn't the temple in Jerusalem, because there is really no temple in Jerusalem yet. It has not been built. So she goes to the shrine in Shiloh, and she prays to God that she will have a child, that she will have a son. And Eli, the priest who is there, basically watches her. And the thing about Hannah is that she's praying in silence but moving her mouth. And Eli thinks she's drunk. Now, why would Eli think that she's drunk? Well, here's an interesting tidbit from ancient history about how people read and how they and how they spoke and things like that. Generally, nothing was ever done in silence, it seems. Like reading was always done aloud. One never read to oneself. And when one prayed, one vocalized one's prayer. So if Hannah is in silence, just moving her lips, I guess it could look like she's in a trance or whatever it is, or she might be drunk, or Eli's just an idiot. I don't know. But he mistakes, her prayer for, again, her being drunk. And Hannah basically says, "No, Eli, I am not drunk. I am praying for a child, and I want God to give me a child." And Eli relents a little bit on his rash judgment, of course, because he's a priest. He has rash judgment against her, and so he blesses her, and it goes on to say that Hannah and Elkanah do finally have a son, and they name him Samuel. Again, the perseverance of people to be able to ask from God what they want, and God delivers, and the ability of Hannah to stand up to someone who would have been seen as an authority in her life, and to correct him when he was wrong. In the gospel today, we begin with Mark's gospel because, again, it's understood that Mark's gospel is the oldest of the four that we possess. And so we have Jesus, after having been baptized, immediately going into the synagogue in Capernaum. He is still in Galilee. And immediately someone comes to him possessed by a demon. And that's because Mark just loves demons. And so they're all over the place. And so, and again, the demon is cast out of this person, by again saying, "We know who you are the Holy One of God. What do you want? What do you have to do with us?" And Jesus basically just says, "Enough, just go away. I can't deal with this." It's like no great to do, no great show, no great special effects, no fireworks, no nothing like that. Just saying no. Which is really all that needs to be done sometimes to those things that make us less than who and what we are, is to just say no to them. We don't have to undergo some great travail or some great journey or some great exertion of whatever. Just to be able to say no enables us to keep moving forward in God's love. An important thing to remember perhaps today as we move into ordinary time, still with the wonder and the joy of Christmas leading us forward. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.